So we're welcome back to class. We are still on the fourth module of the Scrum Master training, and this, I believe, is the fifth lesson of the fourth module. In previous lessons, we've seen some of the best practices in Scrum. We started by looking at the interrupt buffer, from where we looked at yesterday's weather, then swarming, and in the last lesson we looked at daily clean code as practices in Scrum. In this fifth lesson, we are looking at a practice we call stable team. Stable team. What is stable team? Just as it sounds, and if we look at that picture, it means a team that is stable would focus better. A team that is stable would focus better. A stable team in Scrum refers to a team or a group whose membership does not change frequently. Whose membership does not change frequently. And if we look at this slide, on the left side, we would see the members changing from a team of, we can see the guy in green, this guy, coming in and going out. We can see the guy in yellow coming in and going out. We can see another guy that is joining the team. So those are disruptions to the team. On the other side, on the right side, we can see another team with stable members. So what happens with this is anytime you add a new team member to your team, that team member needs time to settle in, needs time to understand the product being developed, needs time to begin to collaborate and sync with the rest of the team members. As that individual is doing that, let's assume another team member is pulled out. It could become more critical when the most experienced member of the team gets pulled out, right? So the interruptions would be impacting on the team performances. So that's what stable team is all about. The team composition remains consistent over time, which brings various benefits to the Scrum team and, of course, to agile processes. The concept of stable team aligns with agile principles of self-organization and close daily cooperation between business people and developers. So there should be that understanding between business and the team. With a stable team, predictability of the team would be determinable. What I mean by that is when you have a stable team and you have a steady or reasonable team velocity, then you can now predict the performance or the delivery or the timeline for that team. But when you are pulling members out or bringing new members in, you cannot have a good forecast. Also, it would impact on the efficiency it will impact on collaboration. Your team morale would be impacted also. Every now and then, a new team member is lost. A new team member is pulled out. You are going into a new sprint. In the last sprint, you have 5 members. In this sprint, business got across to tell you that you have only 3 developers left. That would affect the team morale. The members you have been working with, you've been growing with, suddenly one of them is pulled out at will, and is pulled back in. So that would impact on the team performance. It will affect knowledge share also, because over time, beyond just you've equipped a particular individual with so much knowledge, and before you could say Jack, that person had been pulled out of that team, you would feel discouraged to be giving your best to that team. So those are some of those things that has to do with stable team. But in essence, stable team is when the members are not pulled out or pushed back in frequently. When you have a group of membership that does not change frequently. So let's quickly now look at some of the considerations of stable team. Okay, so from here we can see the benefits. Some of the benefits are what I mentioned earlier. Then of course, your team composition. You want to make sure that your team has all that is needed to deliver. There are times you want to work on that commitment, long-term commitment. Businesses sometimes would request or ask members to commit for a period. If they have a critical development that they want to deliver in 6 months, they could ask the team members if they would be committed all through the 6 months, so that frequent changes or frequent loss of members will not impact on delivery. So there could be that common agreement for long-term commitments. Then of course, you want to have clarity on your roles. You want to ensure ownership and management have support. That ownership has to do with the team themselves. Members of the team that are stable, they have that sense of commitment. They have that sense of ownership to that team. And of course, as they build on further, they have that clarity on their roles. But in addition to that, you want a buy-in from the management team. You want management team to always know that they wouldn't be pulling members at will. I shared in class a time ago in one of the places I worked. I had one of my teams was quite unstable. We had 2 part-timers. One was working Monday to Wednesday. Another was working Tuesday to Friday. 2 members were part-timers. To make the matter worse, the technical lead moved to another role, and we had just 4 developers. So we were left with 3 developers, 2 part-timers, 1 other full-time developer. As to make the matter more complicated, I could remember a time that the business got across that particular full-time was needed by another team. So I was shocked. So I was left in that sprint with just 2 developers. By that time, the tech lead had moved to another role. We were left with 3 developers. 2 were part-timers, 1 was a full-time. That full-time was now requested to move to another team temporarily. In actual sense, I was told that 75% of his time in that particular sprint would be used with another team. So what then is left? So I had to have a meeting with my with the leadership to discuss that. So in essence, when a team is stable, that team will be able to deliver adequately also. Then of course you want to build trust. An unstable team, you would from time to time have to resolve conflicts when there are such. But as team members begin to work together, they begin to become more self-organizing and solve their own problems. You want to also measure the performances of that team from time to time. The stability of the team would ensure that they deliver better, and performances would indicate that. Want to make them to be flexible. Of course, we all know what flexibility is from the agile perspective, and continuously have good feedback loop from the team to know how to further improve the team. So that will be the end of this class. It's another short class. So in all, we should note that a stable team is a team that keeps its members, and that the members are not frequently changed. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be glad to have some time to explain further. We'll see you again in the next class. Bye for now.